Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Side Hustle Live. If this is your first time, pleasure to meet you. If this is your returner, welcome back. I am joined here with my Side Hustle business partner, Darby Rollins. Tomer Saran is out, and he is traveling the country, doing a road trip today. So we have a special guest, Zachariah Stratford. And today we have Todd McLees from Full Circle Innovation playing with us. Todd, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Tim.
So this is simple. The game is played. Let me pull up the rules real quick. Come on now, please. There we go. So first, the investor draws a business card and then rolls the industry die. Entrepreneurs will then take time to brainstorm their idea. The entrepreneur will take turns pitching their ideas to the investor. Then the investor will award a funny or fundable card. So the industries, when we roll the industry die, are tech and apps, media and entertainment, toys and games, sports and outdoors, home goods, fashion and retail. Now we also have an investor's choice. An investor's choice can be anything from automotive to aerospace. So it is the investor's choice to go ahead and choose what that is when that comes up. So our first investor will be Todd, and we'll be fighting to the death for funny and fundable cards. You guys ready?
I was born for this.
Nice. All right. Pulling out my thing. So our first industry.
Is there no Side Hustle theme music yet?
Not yet. We're probably going to commission an orchestra of banjos.
What?
Needs more cowbell.
We definitely need more cowbell. The first industry is toys and games. Oops. That first industry is toys and games. And our business name is DashTab. DashTab. DASHTAB.
I haven't had that one before.
Yeah. We're getting into a whole new section of cards. Todd, while we're coming up with these business names to wow you, or these business pitches to wow you, why don't you tell us a little bit how play and games they act in your life? How prominent are they?
Yeah, they're pretty prominent. I've been playing Side Hustle with my 11-year-old daughter, who I'm trying to help, develop. She's a STEM kid, so I want to make sure we don't lose the human skills of creativity and entrepreneurial mindset and innovation and so forth. So, whenever possible, sometimes on Zoom with her friends, and sometimes she's had a couple of sleepovers now as things start to open up again. We play a version of it where they walk out the door like they might on Shark Tank and stride in, and then they do their pitch, and I declare it funny or fundable. I'm typically the only shark in the tank, but it's a blast. And then we play a lot of backgammon, she and I, and games have always been a part of it at home. I will say my wife has played more games with the 3 kids than I have, but now that games like Side Hustle and other games around innovation and creativity are coming out, it's a lot more compelling to get involved, frankly. Sure. It's better than a game of Skip-Bo for me.
Yeah. Now that seems to be a recurring theme that we're catching. People like to be the most important mechanic in the game. So creativity is a big bonus.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Are you gentlemen about ready?
I'm all set.
They're getting there. Hey, okay. All right. Hey, Darby, why don't you go ahead, go first?
Gladly. Well, thank you, everyone, for being here. Todd, especially, for taking my pitch today. My name is Darby Rollins, and the business that I'm presenting to you today is DashTab. It's in the toys and games industry, and the first question I really have for you and everyone here listening in the crowd is: have you ever gone out with a fun night with your friends, with your family, with coworkers, and got maybe having a beer to celebrate the end of the week. Maybe, you just your beverage of choice, and you get to the point where you got to figure out who's actually going to get the tab, right? And everyone points at the other person that's up there and say, I thought you were taking us out to get a drink, celebrate the coworkers, and the boss says, no, this is boss appreciation happy hour. You need to buy me the drink. Enter Dash Tab. It's the end all be all for deciding who has the athletic ability and the cunning skill set to outwit your would-be bar tab owning opponents and make the other person pay for the tab once and for all. So here's how it works. So we partnered with bars, clubs, organizations, entertainment event centers all across the globe to have these little dash tabs, which they put on the bar tab, and it's up to the bartender to decide when the tab needs to be pulled and when the game is initiated, right? Because, obviously, late at nights, we might not all be in the right mental state to decide, the refereeing of the stage. So it's up to the bartenders, the certified dash tab bartenders, who actually initiate a game of dash tab on the spot and say, all right, dash tab initiated. Each person has to grab a tab, dash to the other side of the bar and back, and first person back doesn't have to pay for the drinks. It's a really simple game. It's very innovative in the sense that no one else is actually doing this right now ever. It's the first time this has ever been done, and people are having a blast doing it all around the world. And hopefully you don't fall and trip in this kind of state. But what it's doing is it's settling these who got the tab arguments in a fun and enjoyable, entertaining way. Dash Tab. Invest today.
Drunk people sprinting sounds great.
It's quickly called by the ambulance call. So.
Dash 911 is followed by. Sorry.
Zachariah, do you want to? I'm sorry, Todd. Do you have any follow-up questions for Darby's pitch?
Mostly just around liability and customer acquisition, and that's about it.
Yeah, so it's the funny thing is we've actually partnered with like the cities and like the ambulances and the hospitals. It's we're not supposed to be saying this on national TV, but hospitals need people to come in and pay medical bills too, and so it's kind of under the table. But as long as you're laughing away to the emergency room, we figure it's fun for everyone.
It's worth the risk. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thanks, Darby.
All right, Zachariah, you want to give it a whirl?
Sure. So, do you want your child to play games that support what they want to do in the future? Well, enter Dash Tab. Dash Tab is the latest in VR technology. And if your child wants to be a chef, this is the latest and greatest game for them. So you put on the VR headset and you use the VR controllers where it teaches you the latest cooking techniques. So your child can learn the latest cooking techniques while quickly having to put out meals for customers. So they have to quickly cook the meals, and they have Gordon Ramsay coach in the background teaching them the best techniques, the best cooking techniques, all in the safety of the VR virtual reality. So they learn the latest skills of cooking, and it can support them in a fun, safe environment to take their cooking skills and ability to the next level before they actually enter the kitchen and start using real cooking utensils and knives and things like that. So a safe way for them to learn all the cooking techniques, support their growth and what they want to do in the future, and all while having fun.
All righty.
So how did you come up with the name Dash Tab for that application?
So they have to quickly cook the tabs for their customers. So they have to dash tab is quickly cooking the tabs that come into them. So they get a ticket. I don't know if any of you have ever worked in a restaurant, but tickets come across in front of the chef. So the chef gets the ticket, which is the tab, right? They have to quickly cook it in the time frame with Gordon Ramsay yelling, and he yells at different levels too. So it starts at a soft level, right? Quickly, and as the time counts down, he gets more and more irritated. So they have to learn how to work and prepare and quickly make decisions under pressure. So it's great for real life situations for young adults and children. And then once the timer goes up, the tab goes out, and they put, with their VR utensils, VR controllers, they put the meal out on the window.
So this is just an app that's available in sort of the Oculus store or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, it's readily
platform.
available in your Oculus store.
And are there expansion kits available for additional chefs if you don't want your child hanging out with your 8-year-old hanging out with Gordon Ramsay in the kitchen?
So we have chef packs. So we partnered with world-renowned chefs across the country. So let's say you don't want to cook, right, English food. You want to cook sushi. Well, you can have the latest and greatest sushi chef of the time in each expansion pack.
Jiro and VR. Nice.
Very good.
Okay. Thanks, Zachariah.
You're welcome.
All right. I guess that means it's my turn, doesn't it? Doesn't it? All right. So I am going to be pitching Dash Tab and Toys and Games, and this is an adult game. And it does have to do with drinking, much like Darby's, which I think he may have broken into my office and stolen some of my ideas, but we'll let the lawyer sort it out after the pitch. Dash Tab is the first app ever to integrate with the Whoop bracelet, Fitbit, and Apple Watches all together. And the way it works is a group of friends go out drinking. When they go out drinking, they don't take Ubers, they don't drive, they run. When they run to the first bar, that's when the game starts. So each person per calorie they burn, they get points or pennies off their tab. So if you ran there and you burned 250 calories, it's $150 off. So at the end of the night, you do. I'm sorry, $2.50 off. I'm buying rounds for everyone. You get $2.50 off, and yeah. And so that takes it off their thing. And at the end of the night, you add them all up, and whoever burnt the most calories wins the night and then wins a prize. Who doesn't want push-ups and pilsners? Who doesn't want sit-ups and scotch? Who doesn't want mountain climbers and martinis? This is going to revolutionize how we our health across the nation.
It's a wellness game, in other words.
It's a wellness game. It's a wellness game. Yeah. Yep. And that's Dash Tab in Toys and Games.
So this sort of 10X's the pub crawl.
Yeah. You got to dash responsibly. Yeah.
How do you monetize it?
So it's much like receipt taking pictures. So what we do is we see where people go and what they are drinking, so we can take that data and sell it back to Big Alcohol. It's a data mining. So yeah,
got it.
Health and data mining play.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah, we're monitoring their heart rates
based on alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough,
tough decision.
What Tim didn't mention was that my Dash Tab is like an add-on service to his Dash Tab whenever there's a feud between the Dash Tabbers.
Hey, we can.
Yeah, you have to burn a couple extra calories to win, right?
It's a fight to the death.
And you run to the end of the bar.
All right,
man.
What are your thoughts? If you want to do a quick review of each one, give us your thoughts.
All right, I've got it.
All right.
So pretty similar approach from Darby and Tim. I would say that Tim is fundable.
Ka-ching, baby. Ka-ching. You made a good decision.
And
it's only one right choice.
Yeah. I mean, Zachariah was going for fundable. He wasn't going for funny.
Exactly.
And he finished second in fundable. So I'm gonna go with Darby is funny.
Yes.
Sorry.
I did all funny last time, and I did really well. So tried switching it up and got Got smacked. All right, fine.
Sorry about that.
I always go accountable.
I feel a little outmatched here. 2 founders of the game and 1 former
I know.
champion.
Yeah, we play this entirely too much.
Yeah, entirely too much. Yeah, there's ever an award given out for people who play the most. We get our own award. We were thinking about doing like a tournament of champions, like all the people that we've had
Nice.
on the show. Yeah, I think that'd be really fun. All right, who's ready for round 2? Zachariah, being that you are our guest host, would you like to be an investor, or do you want to keep on talking? All right,
What's that?
So
Let's do it.
Perfect. Roll in. That is a 6, which is health and wellness. Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. The business name is Keep Up. Keep Up. Sounds like us running the 5K last week.
You running the 5K. Actually, that's
I can't believe Emily came back for us. So, just a quick note before we're relatively healthy guys. We trained for 3 weeks for a 5K, and my lady, not only did she get there way before us, but she came back for us to get back over the finish line again with us.
But again, Tim is saying we trained. I had 0 training, and I was honest about the 0 training. And I still did better than. But it's okay. Yes, we did get our butts kicked by Emily, who came back for us at the end.
That's true. That's true.
But I will say, Tim, I did not do any training. Don't try to lump me in with you.
All right, are you guys ready? Zachariah, tell us what you got going on with Book Patch and some fun things you're working on.
So Book Patch, I'll touch on a couple things. We have, we're doing a full new back end, so that'll launch soon. We're adding hardcovers. So we just got the hardcover book machines, which will be huge. It's the #1 requested service for our customers. So we're pushing that really hard, and then we're creating new author pages. So now our authors, every time they sell a book, they'll get to keep their customer data, as well as 100% of their profit above and beyond our print cost. And then they'll get paid directly to their PayPal on every book sale. So no more waiting for once a month for when we make the payment to authors. They'll get paid directly to their PayPal on every sale. Keep the data from customers and keep 100% of the profit, which is really,
that's incredible.
Really big.
That really is incredible. Yeah.
And beyond that, our book, Darby and I's book, launches on June 7th. That we're very excited for. You'll be seeing a new cover come very soon, and some really cool stuff happening there. So, we're just excited all around.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, it's we have a lot to talk about with that.
Yeah. The course is really, really cool, and then kind of how it ties back to the Book Patch, and what we're doing to support authors in the community, people that have want a business book to be seen as an authority, and or have their own audience that they can promote a book to and keep more of the profit, and have us handle all the shipping and fulfillment. I mean, that's really big. So
yeah,
we already do that now. We're just improving upon that system.
Yeah, and what's cool, man, it's like seeing this. I'm like in the front lines with you guys, like hearing what's going on, but also from my perspective, it's so cool what you guys are working on, because you guys are just scratching the surface with who can be using this. Like everybody's got a story in them. Everybody's got something in them. Yeah. And this is their opportunity. So
it's absolutely. With what we're doing with writing with Jarvis and how accessible we make the course and how much we front load it with value. We're trying to really, really bring a ton of value to people, make the course affordable, accessible for people that want to write a book. And then the platform, the Book Patch, you can upload a book and print and sell to your customer base like same day. I mean, we make it super easy for people to come on and start telling their story.
Yep. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Gentlemen, are you ready to pitch? Darby, you look so ready. You've never looked so ready in your life.
I told you I was born for this. This is the highlight of my week. Is just burying each of you under my pitching authority.
Oh, that is war. Shots fired. Shots fired.
I'm not even
All
using
right, well-
Jarvis right now, and it's already.
Aggressive.
You've just become Jarvis. There's a singularity where it's just
We call him
Jarvis.
We call him
Jarvis.
Darby, right?
Jarvis.
Or Jarby.
Jarby Jollins. Okay. Okay, Darby. Why don't you go ahead and give us your pitch?
On that note, I want to talk to you guys about my startup, Keep Up. So Keep Up is a revolutionary tool in the health and wellness space. It's actually designed with AI to support your heart, right? Nowadays, we've never had more stress, never more opportunity to burn ourselves out as entrepreneurs, as busy people in today's world. And, our heart takes a toll. And, the last thing that you want whenever you're 50 years old is for your heart to just kind of poop out on you. Well, right, you don't want it, right? And like even when you're 20 nowadays, you want to be able to continue to accelerate how effective you can be in business. And if your heart is losing some steam, it impacts everything that goes on with your body and life. So we actually partnered with an AI technology platform called Jarvis to integrate into our cardiovascular system, pump AI through your veins, and give superpowers to the regular people of the world. We help people write books with Jarvis. We help people run marathons with Jarvis, right? There's no limit to the capacity that we can do with Keep Up, the AI heart-powered center chakra for the future of the world.
Chakra.
Okay.
So how do you pump Jarvis into your veins? How does this work?
Well, so I don't know if you've heard the popular rap lyric, I got ice in my veins. I think it was like Eminem who said something like that, or some famous athlete.
Oh, I don't listen to rap at all.
Yeah. So for those of you out there that do, we took that mentality of having ice in the veins, and we decided to manifest it into putting Jarvis in our veins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But how does that work?
It's a nice word salad there.
No, so how does Wi-Fi work, right? So it's a different, it's a frequency that if you turn it on and you can kind of absorb the AI and give yourself the right levels through it. Really, how does Wi-Fi work, Zachariah? Exactly. So that's a
signal, like a phone signal that goes.
Yeah.
You can connect to.
He's like, see, no one knows.
Yeah, it's a phone signal that we've tweaked enough to just be able to tap into GTP3 and have that AI in my veins.
So you connect to your phone?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
We've actually got a proprietary technology USB stick that you can use to plug into anything that has a USB in it that powers up to draw power from the universal sun that and just.
What do you say, Nick? We're just gonna have to get that old crook and just pull you off stage.
Okay. Great job, Darby.
Thank you.
Moving on.
I will.
Who
would you like to go next? It's up to you, sir.
Let's hear from Todd.
Todd. Floor is yours.
Just because you didn't get a card?
Yep. I remember.
Yeah. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. I said I was sorry. So I want to pitch to you today my health and wellness app. It's called Keep Up. I don't know if you're aware of this looming mental health crisis, but it's a very significant issue, which is all of the friendly competitions, or the things that start out as friendly competitions as we register and sign up for Strava and Apple Watch, circles of friends where we're monitoring each other's calorie burned, or even the recently funded Dash Tab, where there's a need to have a way to monitor where everybody else is, as well as have some options and ways to catch up to them. So, you know, that feeling when you have your Apple Watch and you get that notification that somebody just completed it, all 3 rings, and they've hit their calorie count for the day. Well, with Keep Up, what you can do, there's a few different options. First of all, it prescribes certain exercises that could maximize your caloric burn so that you can get there in as time efficient way as possible. The next thing that you can do is you can use the in-app purchases to actually fraudulently add exercise to your calorie count throughout the day so that your friend sees that you're keeping up with them. In the end, it leads to much less banter coming from your friend group because you've failed miserably at keeping up organically with your Strava goals, your Apple Watch goals, and your Dash tab. And you don't have to pass them every night. You can also just gauge it so that you are finishing close, just so that you're not embarrassed. This is all about ending mental health, not defrauding your friends. So that is Keep Up.
Got it. So you're cheating instead of being honest about your physical.
Oh, it's an option. It's an option for the mental health.
I could have said I was actually training for the 5K and then could I change my 5K time if I wanted to?
Harder if you're running that 5K together. It's more difficult. So you still need to be a little thoughtful about it.
Okay.
This is mostly about situations where there's money on the line.
Thoughtful fraudulence.
Thoughtful fraudulence.
Got it.
That's a great tag.
Is there any cause that you support? Is there any? Does it help anyone in any way?
Does it help anyone in any way? I started out by saying this is to avoid the mental health crisis of consistently being beaten when you're playing a game and you're over 50, which somebody was not very sensitive to a little earlier. You're over 50 and they're consistently crushing you in terms of the physical goal setting. Right. You need tools at your disposal to keep up. And that's what this one's all about.
You need AI in your veins. So
this is about inclusion. It's about intergenerational inclusion rather than being so ageist.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Have you sold any? Can you talk me the numbers so far?
Not yet. We're pre-revenue right now, but we're working with the assisted living centers throughout the country, and we think there's an opportunity there.
Do you have any trouble because the people are so old they know how to use the tool?
This all comes back to the lack of a card being earned. Well, our target are those seniors who have signed up, who have an Apple Watch. They've signed up for Strava. They're playing Dash Tab with their friends in the senior community. So they have some technical savvy, and we expect that will be less and less an issue as those of us who grew up with technology are now aging as well.
Wonderful. That was great.
Excellent.
Thank you, Todd, for letting me get you back a little bit. I appreciate that.
Thoughtful fraudulence. We'll keep up.
All right. Tim.
Yeah. So I'll try and keep it as short and sweet as possible, being that we just went through 45 minutes of pitches in one shot. Thanks to Darby Jollins. Darby 2.0. So have you ever been on a run and you're just dying of thirst and you realize that you forgot your water and you really have to pee? Well, now we have Keep Up in health and wellness. So UP is an acronym in Keep. It's Keep Urinary Purification. It is a little bottle that you pee into, and it removes harmful ammonia, and while it adds vitamins to your urine that is now purified, and you can drink it. And all day long, you share it with other people. There's no risk of spreading anything.
Is there like an American Idol where you just?
But wait, we have a cause. See, we understand that clean drinking water is an epidemic. No, not having clean water is an epidemic. You know, there's people out there. That's why it's called Blue Gold for a reason, man. So we have Urinate to Unite is our 501c3. So for every for every keep up, we'll pee in a cup and send it to a low income neighborhood for them to, so they don't have to come up with their own pee. They can just take ours from the company and put it into their bottle, and they get a free bottle.
I hate this.
So urinate. Say, hey, don't do it for me. Do it for Urinate for Unite, or
Think of
Urinate
the
to Unite.
children.
Just think of the children. Think of the children. We water plants with this. We could have it in cafeterias across the nation. So that's
So we have, you know what? I already know. I think Todd wins both because your guys is
Wow.
so ridiculous.
Funny and fun.
What an honor.
Wow.
Thank you.
Oh, that is good.
Still love you guys. Still love you guys.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Jarvis in my blood and urine purification for the win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep urinary purification. Hey man,
So
I
that's
think it's a
how
good
going
idea.
down.
Alrighty. Oops. That one is all. Let me go ahead and get the cards. Let's get a bunch of the make your own cards. Alrighty. So we are rolling die. I think I'm gonna be.
You want to take the investor reins here,
I'm
Tim?
gonna be this time. Yeah. You got an 8. Sports and outdoors in. Oops. Jeez, man, I'm clumsy today. Oh, that's not good. There we go. I keep on getting. I'm so disorganized. I keep on getting the blank ones. There we go. There we go. Insta dash.
Insta.
Yeah, sports and outdoors and Insta dash. Not to be confused with
There's
dash.
definitely a health and wellness theme going on with
It is.
these initial names. A lot of
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
So tell us what's new with Side Hustle.
Yeah, we got.
Tim,
I'll tell you some side hustle stuff. I'll tell you some personal stuff. We got a lot going on. Side hustle is we changed the Side Hustle live game. We changed our look a little bit. We're changing, making it a little bit cleaner, fresher for all of the images that we put out. We have a new box and game design. Same great game, just looks a little bit cleaner, fresher, smaller. Gonna have a smaller footprint on Mama Earth and easier to carry around. We'll be announcing that soon. We're getting the box designed as we speak. Everything else is all set. I don't want to make any promises, but within 3 months, I think we can get it into your hands if you're interested, which I'm sure you are. It's a good time to buy presents in about 3 months.
Nice.
And then I'm really excited about this. It was one of the times where it's great to have partners, because if it was just my decision, I wouldn't have gone this direction. But through like deliberation and research, like me and Tomer went out to a couple game stores one day, and we were there with pads and paper and one of our games and a tape measure, and like really wrapped our heads around what's appropriate and how people play, like really got into the head of tabletop gamers, which of course we're certain entrepreneurs, but they're tabletop gamers as well. And there's other people that we want to introduce to this too. I mean, it's fun and creative, but this can be a tool. So we're really excited about the evolution of it. Other than that, my season 2 of the Entrepreneurial Hierarchy of Needs podcast is coming out on the 31st, and we will be doing like we did last time. Whereas instead of doing it once a week, we have 1 week. We release 5 episodes, 1 a day, so you can get your fill, or get it over the month if you don't have time in the beginning of the month. But it seems to work really well. I'm going to actually be creating a video on how I'm starting my podcast. This podcast is brand new. I'm doing it very differently. I'm trying to track everything as much as possible. So if you're interested in that, hit me up. Also, if you want to be on the show, please email me. I'm going to put that up on the screen right now at Tim It's playsidehustle.com. That's Tim at playsidehustle.com. If you want to be on the show, if you just want to say hello, you want to exchange fun gifts, I'm down. Y'all ready? You don't look ready. I can keep on talking. I can talk all day.
I'm almost ready. Good to go.
Okay. All right. Is there anyone ready? Because I'll keep on chatting. All right, I'll keep on.
Do you have any exciting guests coming up for your podcast?
Yeah, we have. Let's see. We have. Yeah. I'm going to share that right now. I'm just going to pull up the list real quick. Actually, this is going to be a really good season. Next season is going to be really cool too. So our first guest on for season 2 is Alexa Martinez. She
I love her.
Yeah, she's the best, man. She owns sexandlove.com. She is kind of a relationship expert, talks to people about anything about how to communicate to how to experience BDSM. So it's a really wild conversation we get into. Talk to Samuel Prentice with My Wealth CEO, really talking about what he's come up with, the triangle of wealth, and what we should be doing with our money, how our money should be working for us in one of these three angles. And then we have Raj Jana from Jana Resources. Raj is one of my greatest friends in the world. I love this dude. And we talk about everything under the sun. And then we talk with Cole Whitney from the Psychedelic Space Program about how psychedelic are changing the way we think and possibly, healing us based on very new research, which is so exciting. And another good friend of mine, Joel Runyon from Impossible, talking about ultra marathons and keeping the mind and body fit.
It's great. Todd and Cole are awesome too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, all right. Who dares go first?
Well, I've been going first.
Zach, Zach's going first because he gypped us out of 2 cards, man. I ain't having this.
Yeah.
So, pressure's on.
All right, let's do it.
No, you're not getting a card. Just kidding.
So, who's the investor? Tim, right?
I'm the investor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. So, do you ever have like the issue of needing to run or needing to do something active and not being prepared to physically? So, let's say you're doing a run or you have to chase after something and you end up hurting yourself because your muscles aren't warm. You need to stretch and be ready. Well, that's why you need Insta Dash. It's electronic infused sportswear that gives you full access to your muscles at any time. So if you need to stop a baby in front of a car from rolling in front of a car, if you need to slam dunk on your friends immediately without notice and without stretching, you're going to want this active wear that immediately gives you, so it keeps your muscles warm all the time, as soon as you put them on. So there's a known fact that leopards never need to stretch. They're always ready for the hunt. They're always ready to go after their prey. So be like a leopard and get Insta Dash.
I dig it. I like that, Zach. I don't have any. Yeah. So this is, just to be clear, this is a apparel that keeps you
this is
warm.
Active wear.
Okay.
That
How is
keeps
it
your
different?
muscles. What?
How is it different than spats and like a leotard?
No. So this is cool, modern designs and modern activewear, so you don't have to wear spats. But with all your latest styles, it will infuse electronic, patented, state-of-the-art technology to keep your muscles warm and active at all times.
Okay. Do you guys have a logo? Or not a logo, I'm sorry, a motto? Or any
Yeah, be like a leopard, get Insta Dash.
Okay. All right. I like it.
I was like, duh.
All right. Duh. Did you hear me, bro?
Were you listening?
Were you even ready to invest? I have no further questions. I would like to hear from Todd next.
Thank you, Tim. The name of my company is InstaDash, and it's in the sports and outdoors category. This is a high-end product. It's meant for helicopter parents, those of their high-performance athletes. It's a precision algorithmic approach to not only instantly being able to measure how fast your own child is running, a 40 for football, for instance, a 60 if your kid's into baseball, and you need to measure that home to second time or second to home time and so forth. You can do that leveraging video and algorithms. But in addition to that, when you're at a performance camp, you can film the other kids and you'll know where your child stacks up instantly and how they're performing against the others. So it's an algorithmic approach. It's very simple. It's leveraging video function on your own phone. It does everything in the background, and you're able to leverage it for your own needs and as well as for your own child's needs, as well as the competitors. And then as you get on in life and you reach your 20s and so forth, and you're competing against other people, you can leverage that same app for your own competitive ventures.
Cool.
So the name of the app is Insta and that is my pitch.
Is there any social sharing or the ability to see other people's speeds?
Not in the MVP, not in the initial product, but it'd be a great ad, and we're open to that sort of coaching from our investor.
Ooh, that's so smooth. So smooth.
Super
I have
big
no
miss
further
though in the pitch.
All right, Darby, it's your role.
Yeah, well, thank you, Tim. By the way, your hat and shirt are looking very black today. Looking very, very black and dapper.
Very noir.
Yeah. So my business is Insta and in a nutshell, it's competitive outdoor salting on foods in places where you might not necessarily have access to salt. So what you might another way it's been described as Salt Bay on demand, right? Little dash of salt wherever you need it. But what we've done is essentially combined the celebrity of Salt Bay and all his fame and fortune in the cooking world, and we've brought it to the competitive like cook-offs spaces, whether you're like barbecues, campsites, things where you're out there. But why we're bringing him there is because sometimes people just forget salt when they're out in the business. I'm not saying that they're smart with that, and this does come at a premium. This is not a cheap investment to get Salt Bay to fly out to you to do it. But through my agency, I've negotiated not so competitive rates to be able to fly Salt Bay out on demand, give you an Insta dash of salt at your next competitive cooking competition.
I dig it. So on demand, you can assault your food.
Salt Bay on demand.
Salt Bay on demand. I dig it. I actually don't have any questions. I think that seems very, very logical. Seems very doable. Yeah.
As opposed to say borrowing some salt from somebody else.
Yeah.
But we're talking about premium salt here. Okay. This is from Salt Bay
mines
himself.
in the depths of Mars.
Yeah. I mean, it's nowhere south of $500,000 investment on this front, but the rewards from winning one of these competitions could be, featured on, global television, which how can you put a price to that?
True. Depends on how much you're asking for. That would be the price. All right. Okay. All right. Let me think about my answers here. So we have Zachariah. He has the leaping leopard leotards.
I believe that's spotted leisure wear.
What?
I wasn't sure.
You need to listen to my pitch again. You weren't listening, Tim. You weren't listening to my pitch.
Oh God. And then for Todd, we had the app that tracks speed for what would you call it? I'm trying to think that the going back and forth. What's that called? The reps, I guess, of the runner. And the speed to make sure that they're getting better. And then Darby had you fly out Salt Bay and you get a little dash for your cash. All right, so this is difficult. So I'm gonna give the Fun Bowl to Todd. And if I had like a half and half card, half funny, half fundable, I'd give it to Zachariah, because I'm getting older. I'm almost 40, and I'm not as nimble as a leopard, not leper.
I think everyone here would agree they could totally see you in a leopard print leotards. I'm pretty sure I have. So
it's possible. I was in a muumuu once. That was a couple months ago.
All that time.
It was like last night. I was in a muumuu.
But so what was the decision, Mr. Investor?
So Todd got the fundable, and then Zachariah got the funny. I'm sorry.
God, are you? God
no, I'm
bless
sorry.
America.
Yes.
God bless America.
I would say that you added to it with your leaping leopard leotard. I'm going
I can see myself in it.
fundable.
He went very, he was going super fundable. You totally flipped the script on him.
I know. All right.
Can't compete with Todd.
Now we get to learn a little bit more about Todd and what he does, and who he helps, and how he's changing the world in higher ed. Todd, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and who you serve?
Thanks, Tim. I really just rebranded an 8-year-old consulting firm as Full Circle Innovation. It's always been focused on helping companies grow. First 5 years or so. The last 3 years has been more focused on digital transformation, primarily in advanced manufacturers. And through my work with large global manufacturers like Foxconn, who was undergoing a Foxconn 2.0 initiative, powered by Jarvis, I'm sure. The issue of talent kept surfacing as the number one priority. And in fact, it's the number one priority for everybody, and not just young talent coming out of college, but reskilling and upskilling as it relates to digital transformation initiatives. So that brought me into higher ed circles. And today I work with around 50 higher eds in the United States. And we focus on reimagining curriculum, but more importantly, non-credit bearing or non-degree based programming for on-demand reskilling and upskilling based on regional requirements. So for instance, one of the institutions I work with is down in Texas, where I think you guys are. And it's in the Panhandle in Amarillo. And Amarillo College is one of the more amazing 2-year schools or any kind of higher ed in the country. They had a graduation rate or a completion rate of 9% several years ago. Today it's 54%. So they've gone up 6x in just 6 or 7 years under the direction of Russell Lowry Hart and Tamara Clunas. And students of color, learners of color, outperform white students at Amarillo College. And the equity gap in learning outcomes is huge throughout the country. And they're one of the very few schools who has cracked the code on that. So I'm down there virtually a couple days a week, and we're working on the 2025 plan, which is to go from 54% to 80% completion. And I'm learning so much in terms of how they achieved those outcomes in their 2020 plan. The other thing that we do is we engage with employers or industry partners in the region, and we work on programming throughout the region that might be around transformative change management. It might be around bringing AWS Academy into the market so that they can quickly upskill for cloud skills, things like that. So it's all about creating that ecosystem of scalable learning. And whether somebody's 18 or 28 or 58, they may need new skills in order to work their way through the rest of their career. And that is the focus, is around skills building, capability building, so that people can stay employed in work that they find meaningful.
That's great. That's definitely great. So you said that you help create the curriculum as well.
Yep, credit bearing. So it's a couple of MBA programs that we're just sort of thinking about it from overused term, but from first principles in terms of what should be part of that MBA curriculum today. I mean, the MBA is probably the most disruptable part of higher education. You've got new companies like Scott Galloway's company, Section 4, that just got funding. They're running 6 and 8 week design sprints, sort of like an IDEO would, and they're skilling up for a very specific thing, and they're doing that in cohorts. So how do we reshape higher ed offerings? There might still be a traditional MBA offering in a given institution, but the other opportunity is to create additional programs that meet the needs of companies in the region who are just looking for something very quick, to solve an acute need that they have on their leadership team, for instance.
Yeah, it seems that the competitive point would be relevance of information, how fresh the information is, because we're living in a rapidly evolving world, especially in business, and the duration of the classes. How long can I get from point A to point B and into the workforce?
Yeah, what can I achieve in 90 minutes a week for 6 or 8 weeks? That's the goal. Asynchronous digital learning combined with social cohort-based learning, and God willing, some experiential learning too, right? Some project-based learning. That's how we really build multi-domain capabilities. And it's those kinds of things that are so exciting. And they're also very repeatable between the institutions. So once you have somebody focused and cracking the code in one region, the nice thing about higher ed is they're willing to say, either partner with us and we'll provide this piece of the content, or here's the curriculum that we had, and go ahead and create it.
Okay, so that was kind of my next question: is do you make a curriculum that they all kind of want, or is it almost custom based on their needs?
Yeah, it's a little more modular. It's, that would be utopia, is to say, here's the one curriculum everybody's going to use. But more often than that, it's here are some specific needs we have. It's reusable in some regions, not everywhere. And so we're just plugging in. But that's always dependent upon the employers in the region. What are their priorities? What skills do they see as being necessary? Right. That's the curriculum that they deliver. That's the other piece that's important. Going back to your point on the relevance and the current nature of the content that's being provided. In 1990, if I needed new skills to finish my career, the half-life of the value of those new skills was 26 years. So you could imagine that if you got some reskilling in the middle of your career, you were good to go. It was kind of the great reskilling, one and done. Today, that's a fallacy. Today, with new digital skills, new data-related skills, things are moving so quickly. It's more like 18 months to 5 years, depending on the technical skill. And so what we have to do is create this system for reskilling and upskilling, rather than focusing on, the one time. So that really matters for people entering the workforce. Gen Z entering the workforce today, 17 jobs in 5 different industries across a career that spans 55 to 70 years. That's the expectation. So in that case, if you think about 18 months to 5 years across a 70-year horizon, we're talking about continuous self-innovation. And by the way, that rate of change, it's continuing to compress or accelerate, right? I mean, we know that about technology. So those cycles are just going to get shorter. So it's really going to become a key part of employee benefits packages. It's the way we're going to retain employees in the future.
Yeah, and it's I'm curious to see, and I can, in a little bit in my head, see where this is all going, but I wonder how it's all going to affect primary school and middle school and high school students and their curriculums, because now they're going to almost have to be retrained so they don't have to adapt when they get out of high school to this learning style.
Yeah, I just started spending some time on this. It's funny you mentioned early education. A friend of mine who I met a few months ago, actually on Clubhouse, he's UK based. His name is Wasim Ahmed. He's the new executive director at the Global Moonshots organization, and it's a foundation. And if you take a look at it, first of all, Esther Wood-Siki drives it, right? So her daughters are the CEO of YouTube and the CEO of 23andMe, founder and CEO. Their advisory board is like, you recognize 98% of the names on the advisory board. It's an incredible list of both educators and industry folks. And they have a program called Moonshot Classrooms. This is all about early education. What I'm working on is higher ed moonshots, it's essentially. But Moonshot Classrooms is a movement that Esther started years ago. In fact, she has a book and does keynote speaking on, the name of the book is How to Raise Happy and Successful Children. And she did that. So it's a significant movement. I think it's just moonshots.org, which kind of tells you how serious it is that they've got that domain. But that's where you can find information on Moonshot Classrooms.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
I mean, I resonate with this just from like the skills that it takes now to even play this game, right? Are not taught and are not taught in schools, and entrepreneurial skills, like the actual skills that matter. It's not remembering remembering an equation or when the War of 1812 was or whatever, right? It's like, how do you take that information and then use it for skills in the real world? And I always have felt like school didn't work for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I think I'm somewhat intelligent and have a reasonable level of success in the world. So, but all those skills I had to learn outside, right, by taking YouTube courses or whatever.
Exactly right. It's a great point.
The
skills that you're talking about are the human skills, right? The critical thinking, the entrepreneurial imagination, things like that. There's a framework. If you go to humanskills.club, that's the Clubhouse site for there's a collaborative framework there. It's about 100 people contributing to it on these types of skills. When you talk to college or higher ed leaders, they'll say something along the lines of, when somebody attends XYZ university, by the time they graduate, they're good critical thinkers because of everything that we teach them, right? The way we teach them all our entire curriculum. They come out as good critical thinkers. When you talk to talent acquisition folks on the corporate side, they'll say recent college graduates cannot articulate what critical thinking is, how they leveraged it in their academic career, how they might use critical thinking in the job that they're applying for or within their career. And this is the number one in-demand skill right now, according to both World Economic Forum and McKinsey, in employers. And so this is about being more explicit in the development of these skills. But you're exactly right, and certainly not alone. Right? Many of us have to look outside to develop the human skills that are necessary for the next era of innovation as we move towards AI engines and quantum and next gen compute. Yeah,
it's amazing. So that's really cool. Really cool to hear. Super interesting conversation. So I love that. And one of my big long-term drives is to get more involved. So if there's any way that I could get more involved or support you, Todd, in any way, I'd love to see how maybe us or anybody watching could do more to help.
Thanks for that. I would love to have it's all about collaboration and creating that ecosystem. So I'm all in on that. And Darby's actually joining us tonight on Clubhouse. We run some good sized rooms on Clubhouse around these topics in the Human Skills Club. Darby's coming on. We're going to talk about both Jarvis Underground and SideHustle. We'll talk about creativity and entrepreneurial imagination and all of the incredible things that SideHustle teaches both young children and old people like me.
Yeah. I think I'll jump on and listen in on that too. So that'll be great.
Cool. Are you guys ready to do the final round of SideHustle Live?
The lightning round.
The lightning round. God, that was amazing. I really loved learning more about what's going on. And
thanks for asking about it, Tim.
Yeah, it's education is a living thing. It should be a living thing for us. Diploma should be a living document. We should always be able to refresh it.
That's right.
Cool.
Yeah, there's some really cool, I won't spend any time on this, but there's some really cool things going on right now with intergenerational learning. Arizona State, for instance, New Mexico State, they're building senior living towers on campus so that you can be a resident, you can audit any class you want, you can earn credentials. You're not going to get a degree out of this, but you can earn credentials. You eat with the students. Think about the benefits for the students learning from people who have lived their lives, their professional lives, right?
Wow.
And the ability, I mean, just to protect cognitive health, to just keep on learning, right? It's an incredible, there are some incredible initiatives going on in higher ed right now. And I mean, those are the kinds of things that I want to continue to amplify and enable. Yeah.
Very cool. As you said, it is time for the lightning round. All right. The lightning round. I think it was meow. It was meow.
Oh, did you just add that in?
A dog over here.
Is that a cat?
The way the lightning round works is we pick one industry and everybody gets their own business name and they have to, in a flash, pitch the business name, and we will do the same funny and fundable cards. Darby, I believe you're the investor. I think I was judging right before you. So let's see. Who shall go first? I'm gonna go last because I have the cards in front of me. But let's see what the industry is going to be. 3, media and entertainment. Media and entertainment. So who would like to go first? I have 3 pre-selected cards. I can't look at that because fine.
I'll take a first crack at this one, Tim.
You're
I'm the investor. I'm
Okay.
going to invest in myself.
Pull another card after. Okay. So media and entertainment for Blue Tonic.
Blue Tonic and media and entertainment. So, oh my God. Entertainment. Blue Tonic, media and entertainment is the latest innovation in agave tequila that doesn't actually include alcohol in it. So it's kind of a mixture of people that have had the blues and their spouts with alcohol and depression in the past. And so what we're doing is bringing that kind of zest and vibe that the tequila industry does, partnering with rappers, celebrities, business moguls who understand that, like, you know, mental health and depression's on the rise. We're bringing Blue Tonic to the masses in an entertaining way. It's making it cool to not have to have an alcoholic drink in your hand, right? Like things like seltzers, different non-alcoholic drinks are out there, but you know, it's like whatever, right? And people, you want to have something in your hand when you're out. A lot of times, Blue Tonic gives that kind of agave, vibe and zest to it while you're out at a party or just at home. But it doesn't open up the conversation like, hey, why aren't you drinking tonight? Well, it's because I don't want to drink, right? If you just avoid that conversation altogether, everyone has a good time and no one necessarily even has to know. Blue Tonic.
I dig it.
The most impressive thing about Darby's company is actually a 20-year-old company that he's pivoted. Originally, it was Blue Tonic was how you clean Blu-ray discs.
We're not telling everyone our secret sauce. Anyway, that was my
companies like that.
That was my pitch as my investor. So I will now get my note card out. I look forward to hearing from you, Todd.
All right,
as
Todd.
our first pitcher.
Just remember, the industry is media and entertainment, and the business is DataBin.
DataBin. The name of my company is DataBin, and it's in the media and entertainment business. And you know those times where you're hopeful that not only forget about your significant other. This is more about Big Brother, the data companies, the social media companies, everybody who's tracking everywhere that you go, right? Well, this is an absolutely foolproof place where you can take all of your user data, throw it in the bin, and it's a very safe place. Nobody's got access to that content, where you've been, and so forth. It's actually an obfuscation tool as well. So there's a couple of elements to it. It obfuscates the traffic. So if I go somewhere, for instance, as we think about a polarized society today, if I go to Fox News, it's also going to obfuscate, and the AI is going to take me to CNN and MSNBC as well in the background. And it's already passed the Turing test. We know that that's a non-issue at this point in all of our tests. And in addition to that, it's a safe receptacle. So when I'm done with my web session or wherever I am, sessions like this one, I can take all of that content, put it in the data bin, and it shreds it. My company is
Cool.
DataBin.
Awesome.
I dig it. Any questions, Darb?
I was going to ask a question, and then I Googled it, and I got the answer to it. Learned a new word today.
Obfuscation. I come from the encryption industry, and at one point we were thinking about something called a haystack, which would be you go someplace and the AI just kind of puts some things around it that puts you in the center because you went to both Fox News and CNN and MSNBC. So,
Oh, that's pretty rad.
yeah, there's issues around like enemy of state and obfuscating pedophiles, things like that. There's all sorts of challenges around it.
That
So if you're like at the end of the day, you're like a data shredder. Like you just get rid of it.
Yeah. Well, first you hide it with a lot of other clicks that the user didn't actually do. But yes, in DataBin, it's both obfuscation for that real-time monitoring that occurs, and it shreds the data in the end.
Cool.
So it's kind of like a Tor or a plugin for a Tor browser.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, it'd be a great plugin.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
I'd use it.
I'm going to use that word.
Obfuscate.
It's a good word.
Like, yeah, I'll take the obfuscate with peppers. You're completely wrong.
That's off you steak. That's my next.
Oh. Alrighty.
All right.
Who's next, Darby? Is it Zachariah or Marcel?
Yeah,
Let's do Zachariah.
okay.
Zachariah. It is. Keep in mind that it is media and entertainment, and Boomerang.
Okay.
Boomerang in media and entertainment.
Okay. So if you ever wanted to obfuscate TikTok, well, you need Boomerang. This is the latest in quick video technology. TikToks are generally like 15 seconds to 1 minute. Fuck that, okay? Boomerang lets you watch the same 1 second video 5 times quickly. So Boomerang, get it today.
All right.
Wait, so it's like TikTok, but like only
1
5
second
seconds?
videos repeated. Boomerang, bam, 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 Boomerang.
So
More entertaining if you've been dipping into the blue tonic, I think.
Yeah.
mhm. So it sounds to me like it's like a boomerang
Yeah. But
but
bam,
made of other videos. But bam, more bam.
bam,
More
bam.
more bam, less
Don't
boom.
forget, it obfuscates TikTok.
Okay.
Okay.
I like it.
That's key.
All
The
right.
obfuscation is
The
key.
key is this is the obfuscation for sure. Thanks, Todd.
All right, Tim.
So media and entertainment is my industry. Pintastic is a hey, do you remember TGI Fridays when you'd go there and waitress would have the suspenders with all the flair on it? They had
I wasn't allowed to eat there.
what? You had your time, sir.
Sit down, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, Pintastic is sells flair from old or classic movies such as Gaslighting and Goonies and The Firm, and it is either classic characters or classic scenes or sayings, and that is Pintastic in media and entertainment.
So are you obfuscating the clothing from these old movies and then reselling it?
I don't know if I can claim that. I don't know if I can claim that.
The pins themselves obfuscate the clothing.
The pin,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, the mask of sorts. I mean, you can. So we do sell a jacket. I'm glad you brought this up. We do sell base layers of clothes that you can actually fill up with pins, and it actually looks like clothes. Like you can have underwear that is made of pins. That's our highest seller. So yeah, so it's a bunch of lapel pins.
Right.
Yeah. Usually meant for chastity.
Okay. I would award myself funny and fundable, but unfortunately, I'm not going to hijack the game show like that. So, really quick recap: we had Todd with data bin obfuscation for data. Big Brother foolproof shatters data, obfuscates. Learned a new word. Educational. Love it. Zachariah, Bamarang. It obfuscates TikTok. And it's like boomerangs, but with more bam.
Bam.
And Tim with Pintastic. It's like Flair from the Goonies, like you'd see at TGI Fridays, but then they have pin underwear that can't possibly feel good. It probably obfuscates some stuff in the process.
It's definitely the word of the day there.
I will. All right, Todd, funny. Todd, fundable. Zachariah, funny.
Boom.
Nice,
Yes.
nice, gentlemen. Nice, gentlemen.
Nice.
Boom.
All right. And that is it for our show today. Thank you, everybody who watched. Thank you, everybody who is listening. Whoa, I'm dropping things. Hope you didn't see that. Remember that you can get Side Hustle for your home. You can play with your friends in person now, thanks to the CDC, or you can continue playing online like we are, very simply. But make sure you go to Amazon and check out Side Hustle, the party game for entrepreneurs, right there, and enjoy it. Have a little fun learning.
I don't think I've
At least in my part of the world, I got the game the next day delivered.
Nice.
So
Very cool.
Yeah.
We're at that prime shipping, everyone.
That's right.
And I think, Darby, let me know if I'm speaking out of turn here, but I think we're going to be opening Canada soon. Is that accurate?
I believe Tomer is working on the Canada expansion. And after that, the next step is going to be the UK kind of European market. But it's a progression, right? You got to kind of build up to get there, get all the logistics set up. So, wherever you are in the world, Side Hustle's coming for you.
Yep.
And go buy it today if you haven't already. And tell your friends about it.
This is the funniest round of Side Hustle I've played. So thank you guys.
Nice. Nice. Thank you for coming
That was
back.
a blast. Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Right.
Thank you so much, Todd. We'll talk soon, guys.